If you're brand new here today, welcome. It's great to have you. We are at the beginning of every class, we go over the extra practice words from the class before, and then we're going to start fresh every class with a new lesson. So for those who were here last time, these are the extra practice words that we went over that we did on Wednesday. So I'll say them 2 times. You can say them after me. We are doing a lot of, this was a combo class where we learned a lot about a few different digraphs and trigraphs that you're going to see in the real world, such as TCH says ch, and it comes right after a short vowel. DGE says j, and it comes right after a short vowel. You can count on those things. That's 100% true all the time. You can take that to the bank. TCH is a trigraph. It says ch, comes right after a short vowel sound. Same with DGE, it says j. So we worked on that a little bit. And we worked on the hard and soft sounds of C and G. They both also follow the same rule. They will make their hard sound k and g always, unless the very next letter is an E, I, or Y. Then they're going to say their soft sounds S and J. And then we worked on the digraph TI. TI together in the middle of a word usually says sh, as in the suffix shun, like action or nation. So you're going to see those as we review this week's session. So number 1 is clusion. Clusion. Number 2, block pitch. Block pitch. If this is your first time, don't worry, you don't have to know any of this. This is just a review from last time for those who were here and they tried these. Number 3, bestipation. Bestipation. Number 4, flatient. Flatient. You can see that TI right here. TI says shh. Right here. Here it is in shun, as in station. Here it is in shent, as in patient. TI says shh. Number 5, semonition. Semonition. There's a soft C because there's an E after it. Semonition. Number 6, glepotion. Glepotion. Any questions? Put them in the chat for me. Number 7, stiffitch. Stiffitch. Number 8, jaw potion. Jaw potion. Those 3 O's are going to say 3 different things. This one's going to say ah because the next 2 letters are consonants. This one's going to say O because there is a vowel 1 or 2 doors down. And the last one is going to say because O's that come almost to the end say they make the schwa sound. That's why that is jaw potion. And if I said all of that really fast, don't worry. There's lots of time to review. So this class isn't going anywhere. Number 9, syntrimotion. Syntrimotion. Soft C because there's an I after it. And number 10. Hi, Blair. Let me take a look at this. Lepimotridge. I wanted to say technically it should be, but for this class it's lepimotridge. Lepimotridge. All right, let's go to this class. So this month we are going to be learning all about R-controlled vowels. So you know the vowels have a long and a short sound. The long sound is its name, A, E, I, O, U. The short sound is its most common sound, A, E, I, A. But they also have an R-controlled sound. That means if there's an R that comes right after the vowel, it's going to change the sound of that vowel, and that's what we're going to be learning all month. Today's class is going to be about AR. It's going to say R. Do I teach you in this month? I don't. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now. AR will say R most of the time. Usually it's going to come at the beginning or in the middle of the word. If you see an AR, now this is just something that we're not going to be focusing on, but I want you to be aware of it. If you see an AR at the end of a multi-syllable word, it's probably going to say as in calendar or particular. It's going to make it's going to say but that doesn't happen very often. Usually when you see AR, it's going to say R as in R, car, art, artist. So we're going to get there in a minute. In the meantime, before we start, let's do a phonemic awareness warm-up. How many sounds do you hear in candles? Candles. Put it in the chat. Stretch that word. Share my screen with you guys? No? How many sounds in candles? I'll separate each sound. That S at the end is changing to a Z sound. It's saying Z. It's vibrating sound. Because the sound before it also vibrated. A few more people put their answer in here. We're getting lots of 5s and 6s. So candles has A, D, O, Z. 6 sounds. I'll do it again. Watch the shape of my mouth. It changes with every sound. That my tongue is to the top of the roof of my mouth. D, O, Z. 6 sounds in candles. Everybody was either there or very close. Let's do. Let's start easy on this one. Easier. It's never really easy. How many sounds in gift? Gift. Try to give you a gift with this one. Here's what I want you to be careful of when you're saying the sounds in gift. I want you to be careful that G is not one sound. G is 2 sounds. G and then I. So gift has 4 sounds. G, I, S. Just as many sounds as letters in that word. G, I, S. Gift has. Now, how many sounds in present? A harder one. This is actually really hard. Present. Take your time. We're counting the sounds in present. How many sounds in present? So be careful with that S sound. Make sure that your mouth is open medium width. Any narrower and it would say an I. Any wider and it would say an A. So the E for both of those E's in present, your mouth has to be open medium width to get that sound correct. So in present, there are probably more sounds than you might think. There's the P, R, E, S, E, N. 7 sounds. I'll do that again. See if you can do it with me. R, E, S, E, N. Present. Here's another hard one at the end. If you want to make it easy on yourself, go ahead. How many sounds in type? How many sounds in type? If you want a challenge, how many sounds in typewriter? I'll let you choose which one. Type, or if you want a challenge, how many sounds in typewriter? So far, everybody's gotten type right. Very good. Typewriter is a bit of a challenge. So in typewriter, here's the sounds. I, p, 3 sounds in type, and then writer. I, 7 sounds. I, I, The WR makes 1 sound. It's an Old English digraph, WR. And then the ER makes 1 sound. It's the LR at the end of a word. Typewriter, 7 sounds. See, some people got more than that. Usually that's unusual. So let me make sure I got that right. If you guys are, you know, if you were more on the ball than I am on this word, let me know, correct me. I, pretty sure there's 7. All righty, so let's go down to our new rule for the day, our reading rule. AR says R most of the time. Usually when it comes at the beginning as in art or the middle as in cart, it's going to say R. Just for your information, we're not going to do it in this lesson, but AR at the end of a longer word like calendar will say But for this lesson, it's going to say R always. So let's mark our words. I'll do mine first. Feel free to follow along with me. So I'm going to circle my vowel team here. This is going to say R. So there's really nothing I can write on top because it's going to say, when you say the pronunciation, it's just R. When you put something in slanted lines, it means that's the sound, and that's how you spell the sound R, is with an AR. So I don't even technically have to do that. So that E is going to make its short sound because there is not another vowel 1 or 2 doors down. So it's going to say E. C is going to make its hard sound. So we have R, E, carton, carton. Try yours over here. Go ahead and circle your AR. Say R. So when we pencil read this word, we have a voiceless P. P, R, S, E, N. Parfen. Yep. Okay, number 2, we have a hard G because the next letter is not an E, I, or Y. This AR is going to say R. I is going to say I because the next 2 letters are consonants. Make sure when you say the sound of that I that your mouth is open very narrowly and your teeth are only open enough that a piece of paper can go through. And it's kind of like a wide smile. I. I'm having a student in the chat who's new at the computer stuff, having a hard time hearing me. If that's the case, try turning your volume up on your computer. That might help. If anybody else is having a hard time hearing me, let me know. So when I pencil read this word, it's G, R, D, I, N. Now I can't emphasize the sound of that I enough. That is one of the hardest sounds to pronounce correctly, especially because the I and the E are so similar. So many struggling readers confuse I and E, the short I and the short E sound. So it's all down to how you make the shape of your mouth. If you can control that, which you can, then you'll be able to control the sound that comes out. So I is that wide, narrow smile. I, versus E with your mouth open, medium width. So when I blend these sounds together, I have G, Gardent, 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 Gardent. Go ahead and try yours over here. So we have two T's, and if you remember, our T's are voiceless. If you're here for the first time, our T's are voiceless. Same with P's and F's. There's a lot of voiceless sounds in the alphabet, which means they make no sound. They only produce air. T is the sound, not ta. So we have t, r, b, e, n, t. When you blend those sounds, we have tarbent, tarbent, tarbent. Doing okay? Okay, so number 3, what sound is this G going to make? Looks like we have an E after it. And the 3 magic letters that force the G to make its soft sound are E, I, and Y. If they come right after a G or a C, it's going to make their soft sound, J. So we have a soft G. Let me make my E is going to make its short sound because the next 2 letters are consonants. Here I am recognizing that AR says R, as in R. AR says R. So when I pronounce this word, it's J. There's that soft G. J. O, R. T. Gellart. Gellart. Okay, try yours over here. It's another soft G. You can J above it. Okay, so we have J, E, P, R. I'm going to go nice and slow. Jepark. Jepark. One thing that I want you to practice, and I know I say this a lot, and if you're new, I'm going to say it a lot, is to concentrate on the shape of your mouth. From one sound to the next sound, the transition, the space between one sound and the next is where you have to really focus on what your mouth shape is so that no extra shapes, which are sounds, come in. For instance, between the P and the R, I was thinking ahead and I knew that when my mouth opened from the P sound, it was going to have to go straight to an R. So I made that shape as quick as I could. Park. That way no L will slip in there. It won't be pull. No R will slip in where it doesn't belong. It won't be per. If you concentrate on the transition, the space between one sound and the other, making your shape of your mouth go from one sound straight to the next sound, then no extra little letters or sounds will come in. Park. It's a really, really effective tool to mastering reading, is to master the shape that your mouth is in. And I have a YouTube video that tells you the shape that your mouth should be in when you create each sound. And I believe I have trying to put it in your course. However, it's glitching a little bit. So I should have that up by tomorrow, the correct sound of those, the shape that your mouth should be in. But if you're aware of my YouTube video or channel, it's in there as well. But I'll put it in your modules tomorrow. Okay, so did we say yours? Jepark? Jepark. Okay, number 4, I'm going to circle my R. My E is going to say because the next 2 letters are consonants. My Y is going to make the long E sound because. There's always a because. You don't have to wonder what the word is going to say. You can figure it out by using your intellect, your logic in creating reading into more of a math problem with rules and an algorithm and more like a puzzle that you know the answers to. You just have to plug them in. There's always a because to reading, almost always. There's some rogue words out there, but for the most part. Why is it the end of multisyllable words will usually say E, like happy, trendy, candy, pretty. So when we pencil read this word, we have a voiceless P, P, R, S, N, T, E. When you go to blend this word, this is the letter. R's, N's, and L's are the tricky letters that make reading difficult. That N is going to be the one that you're going to want to make sure that you stick that tongue to the roof of your mouth when it comes time to pronounce that sound. I'm going to go one sound at a time. Par, parse, parse, parsen, parsent, parsenti, parsenti. This is a little more challenging than mine was, so take your time on your number 4. And yeah, it looks like a lot of you are working through it. So we have a voiceless S, S, R, T, E. That says E because the next 2 letters are consonants. Pay attention to this N. N, P, voiceless, E. One at a time. Sar, sart, sarte, sarten, sartenp. This combination right here, NP, is not easy to pronounce. You have to go from the N to the P, which isn't a smooth transition, so be careful of that one. Sartemp. No, it's not an M. Sartenp. 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 10p. You got the L. Careful, careful. There's going to want to be an L that's going to slide in right there. Be the boss of that space. Don't let that L sound. Don't let your tongue come between your teeth. You're going to go straight from the P to the E. P with your mouth. P, not plea. P. Sartenp. Please put in the chat how you're doing. One word that would describe how you're feeling, how you're doing. I know you want to put an L in there so bad, but I love that you're aware of that now. Now you are aware of what that L wants to do. I'm telling you, R's, L's, and N's, they're going to want to sneak in. So you have to concentrate on the shape of your mouth so that that doesn't happen. Take the OKs. I will take the OKs. All right. Now for I'm going to spend the last minute or 2 going over an extra practice one if you want, but I don't want to forget 2 things. One is, you might have noticed in the modules that May is the end of the curriculum, basically, and then you can loop back to A if you want, but here's what's going to happen in June. I'm probably going to publish it within the next few days, so I wanted you to be the first to know. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about June and then forever, because I can't not teach you guys. I love teaching you guys so much. So it's going to continue to be a live class, still at the same time for now. It's all going to be interactive starting in June. So I'll just show you the lesson. It's going to look like. We are going to have, this is probably going to look pretty daunting. We're going to have 4 lists. One is challenging words that you will find in the English language, like abominable, laconic, colloquial, xylophone, hierarchy, catastrophe. So, right? Flabbergasted. They might seem crazy to you right now, but that's the point. That's why I put them up there. So what you will do when you come to class, if you want to continue, is you will just tell me what number. It's all going to be you. It's not going to be me anymore. It's going to be one-on-one personal feedback. You'll put your name in the chat. You'll say, I want list 1, number 53. And then you are going to try to read this for me, and I'm going to help you through it. Or you can try list 2, which is nonsense words. Because if you can read nonsense words, you can read any word. List 3, get this, Shakespeare. You can practice reading if you want. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. You can read some Shakespeare if you want, and I will help you. Or you can read some Isaiah, beautiful words of Isaiah down here if you want. So I will let you choose which list and which number, which item you want to practice and pronounce for me. And then it will be all an interactive class. Now, this is the first time that I've shared that with anybody. So I would love your feedback right now. If you have questions, I want to know how you're feeling about this, so I know if I'm like on the right track, if this is something that you'd be interested in. Okay, I've gotten some. Yes, it'll still be 30 minutes for now. It might, depending on how many people will be in it, and it's going to be hard for me to stop at 30 minutes. I'll say that. So it's going to be 30 minutes for now. I might take it to an hour one day if I have enough air in these lungs. Crazy and good, all at the same time. Very interested, a little scared, but excited. Yeah. So the thing is that I feel like I have a speech impediment. You are not the only one. So the thing is you can just relax and attend class and listen to all of the rules that because we're going to be talking about the rules for every single word while you read them. Like for pneumonia, number 77 up here, 77. If somebody wanted to read this word, I would explain this PN, what's happening there, and the EU, what's happening there, and why IA at the end says IA. So you'll be learning if you just want to tune in, you don't want to participate, or you can log in and say, April, I want to try number 81. I think I can do it. And then I will help you read it. So that's going to happen in June. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, the other thing I wanted to ask is I get a lot of interest in this class. There's a lot of people like you, but they are nervous. They're nervous because it's a little advanced, right? It's not an easy class, but it's doable, right? I teach you the rules, and then you are intelligent. You can figure it out. It's doable, right? So I was wondering if anybody, no pressure, was interested, if you would consider making a little video, tiny little video clip to other adults who are wondering if they should take this class that I could put on my landing page. It's kind of awkward to ask for something like that, but if you are so inclined, I would appreciate it so that they know that they can do it. Okay, so for the last minute, does anybody want to go over one of the extra practice words for today? You could try one of the words in June's lesson already if you want to see it. Let me just give just a practice. Like if somebody wants to practice one of these, a word on one of these lists, what would you want to practice? Number 62, Amy, on this list right here. Go ahead and unmute. Let's try it.